Today, we will dive into a communication concept that holds the key to thriving relationships. As we all know, communication serves as the vital grease that allows relationships to flow smoothly. It eases interactions, making things more effortless. However, when communication breaks down, friction arises, leading to fights and misunderstandings. Whether due to a lack of communication, miscommunication, or ineffective communication styles, it's essential to address these issues to achieve emotional liberation within our relationships. Let's explore the three stages that pave the way towards unlocking the power of communication for stronger and more fulfilling connections. Emotional slavery is a concept deeply ingrained in many relationships, a paradigm where we feel responsible for another person's emotions and well being. This pattern often stems from our upbringing, where we were conditioned to believe that our actions determine someone else's happiness or anger. We may have experienced guilt trips, fear, or shame, causing us to act in a certain way to avoid upsetting others. This sense of responsibility for others' feelings leads to stress and suffering when we attempt to control something beyond our power. The truth is, we have no control over how someone else feels. While we can influence their emotions, it is ultimately their choice and permission that allows us to affect them. Trying to manipulate or provoke reactions from others without their consent is futile. We might be able to make someone happy or upset, but only if they willingly engage with us. Imagine two people facing the same challenging situation, like rush hour traffic. One person feels stressed and irritated, while the other maintains peace of mind, enjoying the moment with music. It's their perspective and mindset that dictates their experience, not the external circumstances. The first step towards breaking free from emotional slavery is recognizing that we cannot control how others feel. We can only control our own reactions and responses. This awareness empowers us to communicate openly and honestly, respecting others' autonomy and allowing them to do the same for us. By acknowledging this truth, we can liberate ourselves from emotional slavery and foster healthier, more authentic connection in our relationships. As individuals begin to free themselves from emotional slavery, they often find themselves transitioning into what we call obnoxiousness stage. This stage can be likened to a sense of revelation after finally breaking free from the burden of responsibility for other people's emotions. It's like walking on eggshells has come to an end, and they feel a newfound freedom to do as they please. In this stage, people may adopt an attitude of, I am not responsible for how you feel, placing the onus on others to manage their emotions. It's a reaction to the stress of feeling emotionally enslaved and an assertion of their own autonomy. They might start asserting themselves in a way that can come across as insensitive or inconsiderate of others' feelings. There's a broader social movement around this idea of taking responsibility for one's emotions, which can sometimes be taken to an extreme. People may use it as an excuse to behave in a way that disregards the impact of their actions on others, claiming the others are solely responsible for how they feel. However, the obnoxiousness stage is not a final destination. It's a natural step on the path to emotional liberation. As individuals evolve through this stage, they come to realize that emotional liberation isn't about being completely indifferent to others' feelings or acting without regard for them. Instead, it's about understanding that while they cannot control how others feel, they can still choose to be considerate, compassionate, and empathetic towards others. True emotional liberation involves finding a balance between asserting one's needs and boundaries while also being mindful of the impact on others. It's about communicating openly and honestly, taking responsibility for one's emotions and respecting the autonomy and emotions of others. This journey leads to a deeper and more authentic level of connection and relationships, where both parties can express themselves genuinely without compromising the well-being of each other. And the final stage is emotional liberation. Emotional liberation is a powerful concept that goes hand in hand with healthy communication in relationships. It's the realization that while we are not responsible for how others feel, we are fully accountable for our own emotions, intentions, and actions. At the same time, we can offer compassion and understanding towards how someone else feels, seeking to meet both our needs and theirs. Imagine finding yourself in a situation where someone you care about expresses disappointment or sadness, and you are tempted to take their emotions on as your responsibility. In the past, this might have led to feelings of guilt or pressure to change your actions to appease them. However, in the state of emotional liberation, you can empathize with their emotions while acknowledging your own feelings too. For instance, let's say you have to attend a business meeting over the weekend, which means missing out on your usual date night with your partner. In emotional slavery, you might feel entirely responsible for your partner's frustration and sadness. But with emotional liberation, you understand that it's natural for both of you to feel that way, and it opens up the possibility of finding a solution that meets both of your needs. Emotional liberation empowers you to think more clearly, to differentiate between your emotions and someone else's, and to recognize where your needs may differ. This clarity enables you to find ways to address both your emotional needs and those of the other person without compromising either. The journey to emotional liberation is a transformational process, and it requires self-awareness, empathy, and the willingness to release the burden of responsibility for others' emotions. It allows you to be present for others without losing yourself in the process. As we part ways, I leave you with a thought to ponder. Where in your own life do you find yourself caught in the shackles of emotional slavery? It could be with a parent, a friend, or a loved one. Instead of succumbing to obnoxiousness, let us strive for emotional liberation. Honor the feelings of others, be compassionate, and desire their well-being, but do not burden yourself with the weight of responsibility for their emotions. Remember, you cannot control how someone else feels, but you can control your own actions, intentions, and the love you bring to the world. Reflect on the areas where you find it easy to practice emotional liberation and those that challenge you. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of emotional liberation and the power of communication in building stronger relationships. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button to stay updated with more expert advice on relationship dynamics and personal growth. Share this video with your friends and loved ones because together, we can create a community of empowered individuals committed to nurturing healthy and fulfilling relationships. If you have any questions or personal experiences to share, feel free to leave them in the comments below. We love hearing from you and engaging in a meaningful conversation. Thank you once again for being here, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep spreading love and positivity in your all interactions. Goodbye.